There's foods that keep really well, like carrots and bananas and potatoes and things like that. We don't have to eat unhealthy. We can actually do meal prepping, especially when we get in the hustle and bustle of things. I think that's what I'm kind of not looking forward to, getting out of my mini retirement and heading towards work again, is that I don't treat myself very well. I get a tendency to just give a run and give my attention and money and time towards making money instead of my health. And I think that's what we have backwards in our society. And there's definitely some ways that we can fix this. Hey, welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babishoff, and if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what the show is about, it's completely dedicated to creating a lifestyle design that contributes to the bettering life on the planet and for people, exploring alternatives to the daily grind through liberation and independence, moving from surviving to thriving and living life raw. So let's get right into it here. So, I get in the hustle, and we definitely are not taking care of ourselves. And I think this is this is ground zero. I think this is the very first place. If somebody asked me and said, Adrian, what do I do? What's the most important thing that I do? Pretty much like I would say in life, your career, money, success, fame, fortune, whatever you're after, it all boils down to one important fucking factor. Are you healthy enough to enjoy whatever it is that you're after? Are you healthy enough and have the ability to perform on a higher level, function on less amount of sleep? I think of your body like a vehicle. Are you giving it the fuel that it needs to perform? But unlike a vehicle, though, we are equipped with this machine, this body. That's what it basically is. We need to look at it like a machine that repairs itself. But all it needs is the right types of food and things to keep it going. So that's what today's show is about, and we're going to get heavy into it. The gloves are off, you guys. We're going to get some deep details here. Here's my top 7 foods that are easy to make, they keep very well, and they're very affordable. I think that's our problem, is a lot of us are actually trying to save money. We're trying to get healthy, but we're also trying to do this on a budget. And I'll tell you guys, this is all organic. We have our first runner-upper is apples. And the old saying is, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Apples are really nice. You can always keep them inside your car. Even if it gets hot, these things will last at least a week before they start to wilt. Quenches your thirst, it said. It actually will clean your teeth. So it's multifunctional. Stacking functions, as I preach a lot on my show. And always keep these things. They don't need refrigeration, nothing. Just put them off to the side. And if you're stuck in traffic or you get that hunger, you want to go to McDonald's or go eat out someplace and spend all your hard-earned cash, especially when we're trying to get you guys out of the shithole that you're in and into something that you want, you got to save money and you got to save time. And everything today is designed for that. But look at the apple, just packaged perfectly in this natural red or green casing or yellow. I mean, they come in different varieties. And it's right there. Just you don't even need a spoon, nothing. Just pick it up and eat it. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, speaking of the hustle and the bustle, there's a lot of fiber in apples, and sometimes I'm on the run. I don't want to sit there and eat an apple while I'm at work. I got dirty hands, or I'm just on the go. So there's this little tool. Again, I don't have zero sponsors besides Snoopy Band-Aids and Keystone Light Beer and Peroxide. I'm not affiliated with anybody, man, and I might keep it that way. I don't know. But anyways, I digress. There's this apple core thing. It looks like a screwdriver, and it's got a circular saw on the bottom that has a lip on it about 1/4 of an inch. And what it does is you spin it, and it basically decores the apple. There's a few seeds and stuff stuck in there, but this makes things fast, and you're going to learn why in a second here. So you use that core, you pop it out with your finger. You can do multiple, like 3, 4, 5 of these things like I do. Get them all ready, and then you can slice them all up. I like to slice them real thin and paper thin. For kids, it works out fantastic, and I think for adults too. You almost turn it into like a moist chip that way. Then you can put a little drizzle of some organic peanut butter or something, which also doesn't need refrigeration, but I didn't put it in the notes today. And peanut butter and an apple that'll cure your hunger and like nobody's business. So what we're moving towards is smoothies, and what I do is I put the apples, I put bananas are second on the list here that are cheap and already in its natural casing, but I blend everything up. And these apples, instead of having to chew them, it's basically almost digested for you. So this is the magic of a smoothie. You can add spirulina. I put plant-based proteins in there. You could put whey, all kinds of different things. I put peanut butter powder, and you can make these things taste fantastic. So what this does is when you're on the go, you can imagine that the smoothie, you put it in a blender, your body doesn't have to work to get acids to break everything down because it's like a pulp almost. And you can add different amounts of fluid, like I do almond milk or coconut milk. Coconut milk's my favorite. Also doesn't need refrigeration in the box. I mean, I can go on and on, but I got to make this short. You can add little additives to this thing, so it's like a vitamin drink, very powerful. So bananas, as I said, moving forward, bananas are wonderful because they don't keep quite as well as apples, but they're definitely cheap, even in the organic. I think Costco's got them for like 99 cents a pound or something. I mean, I get a bushel, a group, whatever you want to call it, of bananas, like 8 of them for like $3, I think. So it's healthy, it's organic, and it's cheap, and it's got tons of fiber, potassium for those people with high blood pressure, and it just helps regulate the poo-poo factor and everything too, keep you all nice and happy. So I don't know about you guys, when I don't poop, I'm a mean son of a bitch, man. I'm like jealous at my dog. You know, when I walk her, she'll get like 2 of them in one day. She'll have a way better day than me. I got to carry around all this baggage. No, got to eat healthy and stay light-footed. So the next one I want to say is potatoes. And potatoes go in, they keep very well. They're also very cheap. Costco actually has these guys on sale, these little butter, I don't know what they call them, and they're cheap. They're like, I think 99 cents a pound, and they're fucking delicious. But this coincides with the thermal cookware I've talked about in my earlier episodes. If you don't know what a thermal cookware is, it doesn't take any electricity. You basically, like potatoes, you fill an entire pot full of potatoes, then you fill it up with water all the way to the top, you put a lid on, you get it to a boil for about, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Make sure the internal temperature of the potatoes are soaking in the thermal heat, the inertia. So you get the pot nice and hot. With the lid on, you take this off, and it basically goes inside of a giant thermos insert, thermal cookware. So you shut off the flame, you put the lid of the thermos on top. Brilliant. It cooks all day while you're gone. You leave the skins on, everything. When you get back, you can literally peel the skin off with your fingers instead of having to use a grater or a peeler. And you can add these things to soups. You can add them to sandwiches, to tacos, to burritos, to breakfasts, hash browns. It's beautiful. And I'll give you guys another tip. You can actually leave the skin on a potato that's cooked in a thermal cookware and just grate it with the skin on. And what's going to happen is the skin will literally peel back off as you're grating it, and you'll have skinless hash browns. Then you can take and freeze these things by batch cooking, and you can. I used to make little hockey pucks. Put them in the freezer on a tray. When they're all done freezing, take each one out and put them in a baggie or a Tupperware and put them in the fridge. You can pull out frozen hash browns that could use to be thickened soup. All kinds of methods. My next one and favorite is garlic. And garlic, if you guys don't know, for health, is good for everything. Everything. I mean, I think that's why I don't have a woman. I smell like garlic, man. I love it. My favorite way is to barbecue it and then just burn it and cook it a little even. Then you can just squeeze it out like paste. So garlic, cheap, very good. Carrots are another one. You can use the peeler, is what I do for my daughter, and you peel it like moist potato chips. There's something about the thin consistency of it, and you can make any kind of dip. You can use it for dipping stuff out like a potato chip, and it's very healthy and very quick. Or just eat the whole fucking thing like a goddamn animal like I do. Instead of yelling at people and giving them the finger, just stick a carrot in your mouth. Onions keep very well, and I love to make this with my next one. I'm just going to go ahead and say it's tomatoes, because tomatoes keep well, and they're relatively cheap. Not necessarily, but they go a long ways. And I like putting onions and tomatoes together to make a salsa. They keep very well, as I said. And if one thing you guys don't know about tomatoes is they actually rehydrate your body. They're full of electrolytes, and they also help build liver cells. It is said, so science and Google tells me, but I think really intuitively you know with your eyes what you want to eat, and you can actually bless your food instead of damning your food. And I think that's a big thing we need to get in our mentality is do things with intention. Bless your food and eat it. Just like water holds memory, just take that food in and let it go into your body like oxygen and live and be well. You guys, if you like this sort of thing, check me out on Facebook. There's a private group. I made the private because we want to keep people out if they want to be a dick. We'll have a place where everybody could be themselves and say what they want and be friendly and happy and say whatever you fucking want. Just don't beat on each other. So I made it private for that reason. It's up and in it. Check it out. Ask to join and I'll prove everybody. And we just want to be able to have control to knock out the yoo-hoos from, screwing things up. There's Instagram where I post almost every single day. Some days I miss because I have a special needs kid. 11-year-old needs diapers changed. But I show everything that I do, what my mini retirement's looking like, what an alternative lifestyle will look like for the rest of the year. So check it out there. Everything at Instagram. There's YouTube, podcasts, and everywhere else. Well, that's it. So as I always say, don't lose your muchness. Human up, carry on the fire, live it, love it, own it, and bone it.